Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with you with a weekend update. We got a lot of little small bullet points to hit today. We got some updates. You see, we got our cat cam back up, and she's finally calmed down because I've been having to shift the camera around like 5 or 6 times before we even get into this. So let's get into this, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with the weekend update. I'm so glad to have you along. If it sounds like I'm fighting a little bit of sound, it's supposed to get like low to mid 80s today, and I'm trying. I was gonna just turn the AC off, but these little. This is a Bushwhacker Plus 17 FD, which is short for front dinette. That's what that is over there. So she's running around with her head cut off, and I've just things have been insanity. So I'm trying to make some room. It's a little messy in the corner over there, but if I got time, I meant to last weekend do a little visual around, but I was kind of embarrassed. I'm a very cleanly lady, but I was kind of embarrassed by all the stuff piled in the corner. But at least it's in the corner, and it's sort of Tetris style. Yeah. Anyway, with that said, we've got a lot of things to cover this week. First off, Happy Armed Forces Week. I was going to hit that last weekend because it was last Saturday for those that celebrated it. What did you do? You want to share about that? What you did as well? And just trying to get settled in this place, really getting into my starting to finally feel like a little bit of a weekly routine again. Because those that know me remember my reference to the Teen Titans Go episode, and when they went to the opposite, when they brought in the opposite world. Raven. She's like, me need structure. So I do. I need structure for that as well. Good news about flying. It's not as far as we thought it was. So the good news is you only got to get to the new third level. Or wait, how do we want to say this? The third new chapter that's going to unlock in 9.1, and then you can get that at renown 50. So we're only about 10 away, because right now at 9.0.5 you can max at 40 renown. So and by the way, on that, I've got a little update myself. I'm ecstatic. Last week I was all excited to share with my guildie. We've all been plugging away hard, grinding that classic, and we merge. We'll get into TBC stuff in a few minutes, but I told them I'm all excited on retail. Of course, my main has been renowned for some time now. Those that had seen my earlier videos knew that I popped that some time ago. And my druid just hit 40 renowned, and I was all excited. I just got my monk, which is for the Maldraxxus, and I got my Death Knight, and they're both at 35. And they haven't finished the full 1,000 for the week. Pretty much what I've been doing, why it's taking me so long, is each week I only have a little time. So I jump in, I do the 20 souls. I try to at least get one renown a week as long as internet holds up, and that's been kind of a struggle here as well. But I'm plugging away. That's those two. And then if we shift gears, boy, what it's again. I mean, this is common. Every time we see this, we had that long wait, and then sure enough, it happened to me. We logged out. I had to log out the other day, and was trying to come back in to play with my guildies for a little while on TBC, and I'm playing a lot more TBC because those that know me know I'm a TC baby, and slash Andor Wrath baby. I came, I think, in the tail end of TBC at the time, and wow, the launch again. They had the see. You get into that routine, and you're not too concerned about oh, I'm gonna log in without any trouble, without even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, I almost forgot that wow, there's this waiting period, and it was like a half-hour waiting period. And then there's a lot of these other bugs. I know as a hunter, when I merged it over, I love that the tracking for that is back in. You can go up to tracking now, and instead of having it on little add-on macros. Or not add-on mic, but the ones that are in your original Hunter one, and now they're back on the mini map again. And now you can get off your mount. Like when you don't have to get off your mount and then attack. You start attacking, you automatically get off the mount again. Just little tweaks that we've been waiting for to come back. I wish the bullets and arrows would go away again, but I know that's later. you know, it's fine, but we're grinding up so close. I'm like, I think 3.5 bars from popping 58, and I was excited when I popped 57 recently, and I was like, the final stretch. I mean, we're gonna still go to 60 and then beyond, of course, when TPC goes live on June 1st here, just a couple weeks, not far away. Hang in there. But pre-patch is live, and then we've been leveling, and I had a little trouble again trying to get a name for my Blood Elf and Paladin, but I did. I made I think a Draenei Hunter or a Draenei Paladin. I got her name over there. I used the boost. Yeah, I broke down. I know. They're going to yell at me because I'm going to fall in that category of other horrible people that keep wasting their money. And they're like, see, it's people like you. Because I've gotten that crap before about a freaking, God forbid, amount I wanted. Jeez, Lou, wait, who cares? Like, we could say who cares, but we know, but then they're like, yeah, but microtransactions keep going up because people say who cares. There's a rebuttal for everything, and I'm not going to get into all that mess. All I'm saying is I did it. And thankfully, if you go to your inn in the capital, I thought it was only going to be on one character because I know eventually it's cross account. I mean, account wide eventually. But you go to you get your upgraded mount that you get from that. I got my 30 days added. I did the math, and I was like, well, if I bought the mount, if I bought the toys on the shop, if I bought 30 days, if I bought uh, each mount from retail be 20 and 15, and I did the math, and it was pretty spot on. So at this point, of what they normally charge for those, and then I was thinking like Christmas, if they were cheaper the following year, half off. But anyway, I did do that, and we're just about there. I'm just a few more bars away from hitting 58 finally, and I used my boost for my Dr.Fox character, the Night Elf. I never had time, never had proper internet and streaming setups. I was never able to I was gonna not was going to, but I wanted to be able to stream that on a regular basis, and that never came to pass, not by choice. And it's so overwhelming. And I got life. I'm not like, oh my God, life sucks. I gotta be in here. And I'm not putting others down that feel that way. This is just how my process works. I have a lot of adulting to do right now, and that adulting is very debilitating and struggling and exhausting. And I've just got a lot going on. And thanks for my little beautiful rock over there, Miss Mora, right, Sweet Pea? So I'm glad you guys were able to get the cat can. I put her on top because, of course, everyone, you're not here to see me. You're here to see Mora. Of course. I'm kidding. But, that's just, we're, we'll get into some more of that a little later, I think. And there's, I want to try to hit some of these bullet points. So we're not like, those that are sitting around waiting for my bullet points. Like, come on, Dr. Fox, let's go. We don't need that either. Come on. Patience here, people. Slow down for 5 extra seconds. Enjoy. This is supposed to be a few bullet points while we spend a little time with you. Chill out for 15 minutes to a half hour or so, depending on what we got. I'm not, then some will go, I don't have 15 minutes. Let's go. Normally, I have time to edit, too, so hang in there. As well. We wanted to cover that one as well. And another quick thing, we did get switched over to T-Mobile again, and what a horrific mess. And I'll share that story a little bit later when I had to call Verizon to make sure that. Now in the stores they call them pucks. Online some people call them pucks. They're these little like ellipsis jetpacks, and they had a recall on them. I just got my thing in the mail to send that one back, but of course then I had to turn that off because there's no way I'm going to spend $70 on that. Once I don't know if I'm even going to get settled. I'm having a lot of paperwork troubles. They want things that are almost, I just feel like they're almost impossible to get. I am running around to the credit union and the bank trying to get forms of that printed out. I've tried to do it on the laptop. It's not working. I've tried it on the phone. They don't want phone pick. I just hope I don't lose that home. I already had to, distance myself and lose it's a long story. I'm not going to bring those politics into that. That's not what it's about today. A quick note here for one of our bullet points, Frostadamus, aka Frost. He put out again. I remember he had put a great link for when TBC. I mean, when original Classic Vanilla launched. There was a nice little add-on kit or add-on pack, and I'll put that link in the description as well. They've got a new add-on pack that came out for TBC, and I'm gonna check it out because we were using Questy, and then we actually had to copy it. When you go into the folder on there, you got to go to like C folder, and then you go into like program files, and then you go into World of Warcraft, and then it's like interface, and then add-on. And now it's because of this pre-patch merge right now, and there's going to be separate servers. Now there's classic, retail, and I don't think it really said pre-patch. I meant to write it down what it said, but it was this other one. Anyway, I had to go into that one and copy the add-ons, thanks to our detective figuring out between me and a guild that we were bouncing. We were like, maybe it was this, or maybe it was this, and so we finally figured it out. And I hope it doesn't have to do that again. And are any of you still using WoW Up? I'm kind of curious while we're talking about add-ons for the moment. Or do you suggest a different one? Go ahead and share that with us in the comments as well. There's going to be in retail, there's a new currency option for the Great Vault. If you've decided not to take the gear pieces, you can either choose, you can't have all these. You've got to choose one or the other. There's going to be 250 Soul Ash. You've got 500 Stygia or 125 Soul Ash. And speaking of Soul Ash, they're going to be increasing that to like 83%, I think, for what drops from what we were getting now. So that's a big boost right there if you're looking for that. And speaking of Soul Ash and all that, and the Torghast, there's going to be a new vendor where you can actually go buy like Soul Ash bags, but you've got to get through. I think it was Torghast tier 9, I think it is, to unlock that, if I'm correct. This is all in retail happening. Quick side note, E3 has some leaks about the arcade 1-ups. Those know my channel know I've done some arcade 1-up videos as well. And sadly, those have been distributed now, my older cabinets. With the move, it was a little frustrating. I gave it to an old individual I knew for a long period of time. My brother took the Pac-Man cabinet. It's just trying to move things around right now. Oh my goodness sakes. Oh. Let's see here. Just double checking my notes. I had to bounce around. Oh, for those that had to want to re-roll your mythic keystones as well, finally there'll be a vendor. So if you lost your keystone, you're like, oh crap, I did it, and that's not the dungeon I want to finish. Just a little easier to get to that, because I know I was struggling. I had the hardest time trying to get to 15 and then trying to re-roll to get a new one. Now you're going to be able to re-roll, but I don't know whether that's going to be per dungeon. More likely, probably once a week. We'll have to see how those details come out as well. Oh, yes, about that Soul Ash change, the vendor, it's in Coralath. They're going to sell those bags. But you had to be through the 9 layer of Torghast. And then I don't usually cover a ton of these nerfs. Sometimes I'll bullet point a few of them because there's so many and they're constantly changing all the time. The DK, Death Knight, Anti-Magic, or AMZ as they call it, like not the show. This is acronyms for Anti-Magic Zone Cooldown as well. That there's a nerf coming for those poor Death Knights. And I know I have one using it, getting the renowned up right now, renowned 35 with my Death Knight in Revendreth. So that... my friend and or friends, depending on if there's more than one watching me today. But I think with that, we've got a lot going on at the house. I'm just trying to keep my focus. I'm trying to get into my routine again because me needs structure. And I had a really rough time when we switched to T-Mobile. I had to call my puck that I was talking about. I was waiting for the paperwork and the packaging to send it back to get. It was a recall. They're going to send you one that's not going to overheat. And the, I, I wasn't in the mood for a 1 hour therapy session, if you will. I was just trying to turn my puck off, and I get so freaking tired, and I'm trying to save, and I've had tooth put down my throat, and I practice my exercises every morning, and then when I get extra sinuses or migraines and they act up, and with my brain injury, it's hard to keep, no matter how many times you practice and practice and practice. Sometimes those parts of the brain injury can't excuse me, see, I'm getting some phlegm right now. And then some will go, it's too dangerous. Anyway, it was just another, having to deal with another anti-trans being that has these horrible excuses and rebuttals, and thinks, first off, either we shouldn't exist, or if God forbid you're getting to know a family member and you're not the one they want you to be part of it, but they're fine with it if you don't try to, get to know somebody. They're like some of the religious individuals that have struggles with that, that really like. I was having an amazing conversation with. Quick shout out to you, Chica. I know you're probably watching this with your mom. Hey, hi guys. Um, uh, we were having a great conversation. We're like, we should do a book, because now I'm not a person who goes after people, but with all the anguish, you'd think that we could like have a trial or something and like pull some of these people in all over the world, a lot of my family members, and just individuals I run into every day, and just like, and get a really good lawyer, like that. They're like, yeah, Dr. Fox, you'd have a ton of money, um, with your anguish that you have to deal with for this. Because I can only imagine now, looking at having other trans or those non-binary or non-gendered, identified in the future, to be looking back and go, geez, what was wrong with society? The way we look back and going, what is wrong with society with the issues of the early wars, and having issue with an individual, whether they be, you know a specific color. I mean, we still see that today. We see that with gender, but then they put all these issues on it, the ones that try to stay outside of it, or they think they're all high and mighty, and they think that we're not allowed to be this way, or they get all angry because, God forbid, we're asking for a little bit of rights that you guys fought for rights as well, and you're still fighting for rights, because of certain situations still happening, and they feel privileged, and they're like, it ain't my fault that you're acting that way. You probably have a sucky life. And it's just like, these excuses are across the board. And it really bugs me. Or they're like, well, geez, if I couldn't do that by, say, 40, that's why we see a lot of trans suicide at a younger age, because they're like, well, I can't transition. Or you get other horrible trans that will go, well, geez, if you can't get that voice thing figured out, then I wouldn't even transition. And it's just a horrible, like, you wonder what these people's hopes are. Like, have they lost hope? Have they really become that jaded? Now, look, I've been threatened to, just threatened, but I have been tried to get killed in Afghanistan, Iraq. I'm a strong soldier. I'm not gonna get suicide, and I can deal. Look, I've studied to be psych for decades. I've had to struggle with a lot of individuals I work with that are in the community. I try to do my non-for-profit. We don't make very much, uh, but it's not about making money. It's never been that way. Our world needs to change a little bit, and some things are fine. I'm not saying it's a perfect system. I know, but there has to be something of a change. And I can't stand those people that just go, and they've kind of given up, and they go, well, Dr. Fox, the world's changed in this horrible way and it will never go back. Or like, you think that those individuals just gave up on hope and just gave up on everybody. I look, people treat me like crap. The majority of human beings are very, very horrible people, and some will be so blinded and they won't see that, just because the way either they look or how they were lucky enough to be in a circumstance that allowed them not to have that happen. Or they're like, oh my God, you're focusing on the negative. Anyway, there's always going to be a rebuttal no matter what someone says. And I think with that, we're going to shift gears. We're going to go into the calendar before we start taking this too dark in a direction. But I can sit here and talk about the psychiatry behind this chaos for hours. And I liked a special gal, pal of mine. We were like, we should write a book on all those different pieces. I know, right? And speaking of that, I'm trying. I got another small cookbook. I'm excited. I got like a half a dozen little eggs, and today I had the 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 uh, the vent fully open, and the van. And today's supposed the vent, excuse me, the fan. I meant to say the fan was running. It's just got one speed, and it's like really really loud. And I had that blowing out all the extra exhaust because we don't have an exhaust like over the cabinet. That's sort of like your exhaust for when you take a shower. And speaking of that, I'm having trouble with that. I'm getting kind of because I don't know if it's a heating element or my gas. I did get these gas leveling little icons in. I got some new things for the car that we tidied up. I'll have to post some of those on Instagram recently because I'm all excited about that. About some of the small tweaks coming to my car eventually, and then this week I gotta try to transfer my trailer. And best case scenario, I can go to the old town where I lived and we'll be able to do it. Or I looked at setting up an appointment down in where I have my temporary address right now, and it's like all the way out to like June 15th. Now I know technically I don't have to leave here until technically somewhere between June 18th or the end of June if all goes to plan right now, so we should be sticking around for a bit. Well, it also depends. I'm having a lot of trouble getting this paperwork figured out. And some will go, it'll get figured out. It'll work itself through as long as you keep, trying to pull piece by piece, and hopefully eventually they're like, okay, that's good enough. Let's finish the underwriting for this. I just hope it gets to that point. I just hope that they're not too bad of a stickler and go, nope, sorry, we've done all this and now it's your fault because you didn't get us. And I'm like, I had everything printed out and I put. So we're gonna do calendar. Let's get into calendar. I love my calendar kitties as well here. Let's jump on in this week. Oh, so we've got a few things wrapping up this week as well. We got the PvP Brawl Gravity Lapse that's beginning on Tuesday. Time Walking Dungeon that's beginning this week. Let me take a quick gander over here at where. Oh yeah, it's the Kata. That's what I thought. I thought it was Kata. That was coming. Pet Battle Bonus Week, that is ending this week if anyone has to tidy up some pet battles this week. And of course, this week coming, this Thursday, is Glow Cap Festival. And I'm like, you know what that means? When that micro holiday comes up, not only can you go and crank your old rep if you never got that done back in the original Outland. Not TBC, the Burning Crusade Classic. But if you in retail, if you hadn't been able to do that, they have that nice fun little glow cap festival going on as well this weekend. That when that comes around, I'm always like, Memorial Weekend, baby. So hopefully next time I'm talking to you, I'll be smack dab in the middle of my, I hope, 3-day weekend, which would give me a little extra. I don't know. I've been having a really rough time. I'm not sleeping, and I may not be able to again this weekend because of some chaos going on this week. I gotta meet with my lawyers this week and social worker and the therapist, and then I got some Social Security appointment I gotta go do tomorrow. That's gonna be a long day. It's exhausting. It's just this. I'm not gonna get into all that. Anyway, that's the calendar. We're gonna wrap this up. I hope you really enjoyed coming along. Thanks for hanging with me. I always appreciate those that stick around this long. Stick around. Oh yes, I will. That's from Wreck-It Ralph. So thanks for coming along. Glad you got to enjoy the cat cam today while she's over here. There she is. She's taking a good nippy nap. So we're going to let her nap. I'm going to get brunch in me. I don't have my enjoyable little frozen like vegan sausage thingies. because I don't have a freezer. It's a little. Oh, that was the last thing. I don't want to. I know, letting her sleep. Um, eh, I hate to have you see this place because it's kind of a mess, but I've got everything rolled up, and then we'll come around, and that's over there. I got a lot of stuff on the kitchen table, and we got the little TV. So we're play. Whoops! I don't know. I hope that YouTube doesn't give us an issue for that. I think Lilo and Stitch is on there today. I've got it on freeform today, and then I got pretty good. I scanned my. The only thing I didn't get is with the tablet. I was able to pick up like all the 35s, but I don't usually watch a lot of the 35s. I wish I could get my 8s back because the Laugh TV and the Me TV, I like those channels. Those were a lot of fun, but you have to be closer to Lewiston, Auburn, and the um, Portland area to pick those up. At least, well, unless you got like a really good antenna, and you're up on really some massive hill. You got really good tree coverage. I do have a really big antenna I want to try to put on. If I'm trying to stay positive and think if I get a new home, I could put it, but we're going to be down a little ways. We're not going to be high up on some really high hill. But I, anyway, that's a whole other thing. So at least it's back to the cat cam. You guys can enjoy that as we wrap this up. I appreciate it. I've always appreciate you coming along. Remember to try to take 2 things this week. Focus on before you head into your Memorial weekend. Try to step back. Try to be a little courteous and just do your best. I'm not asking for the world to change. I'm just asking for small, microscopic little steps to be a little less selfish this week, and just to try to take a moment, step back, and try to think about those before we have to get attitude towards them, and try to respect those individuals without. I don't feel I'm asking too much, and I think with that, have a good week, stay safe, and then call me in the morning. And once again, we know the drill. We will see you later.